Nemet, ladies and gentlemen, honorable member of ECR parliamentary group, I would like to thank you from my heart for this great honor that you did to me to present in this audience the actual situation in Albania. I have been here more than in any other international institution. I came as a president of the country. I came as leader of opposition 8 years long. I came as prime minister. But today, almost in 30 years after Albania's membership in Council of Europe, unfortunately, my country is the unique and the first narco-dictatorship in Europe. Albania, in this 30th anniversary, is a country where, before the elections, the Prime Minister opted to have a fourth mandate by arresting 3 leaders of 3 major parties of opposition. They arrested me 333 days with no penal fact. They concluded by accusing for passive corruption the fact that my daughter paid a bill for 1 week vacation and a bill for health care. My son-in-law is since 440 days in house arrest and prison. He has taken 410 meters land from his grandparents. Everything documented by official documents that the land belonged to his grandparents and was confiscated by communist regime. The second leader, the leader of the second major opposition party, was the former president, former prime minister, former speaker of parliament, Ilir Meta. One day, some months ago, entering in Tirana, he was brutally aggressed by the police. He was drawn from the car without showing a mandate of arrest. He was jailed as person under investigation, and he is still in jail as person under investigation. The third leader of the third opposition party is Fatih Meddiu, the former Minister of Defense during the time Albania got NATO membership, is put in penal process for a judged matter 15 years ago with no penal fact. The regime take The regime took mandates from mayors of opposition for the sole reason because Edi Rama wanted to appropriate for himself 225,000 meters square by the sea. And of course, the candidate of opposition was not at all willing to provide that possibility, Edi Rams. A young MP, Ervin Saliani, is in jail because with bravest he denounced the brother of Minister of Interior, wanted in Italy, sentenced 8 years by Italian Supreme Court, and guiding trafficking from Vlora to Italy. This is now, if you take the Albanian prison population, 67 of them are pre-detained people. The nation lost the principle of innocency, of presumption of innocency. Albania is a real narco state, and this is the history Unfortunately, Europe have never seen such history. 2015, Edi Rama planted overall Albania with cannabis. He engaged police and other potential to plant the country with cannabis. Look, after the crops of the cannabis, more than 10 to 12 billion euro were created by these traffickers. They jumped to South America and Latin America, to South America. Now they are very powerful people in cartels, including Sinaloa, which is chaired by Albanians. Honorable MPs, Edi Rama himself has direct links with these criminal organizations. In his office there is an advisor which coordinates the activities of these organizations. He received in his office the Sinaloa boss, Albanian Sinaloa boss, provided him a license and he accepted, and the permission for a 5-star hotel. But all this organized crime, which is famous and terrible, is deeply involved in elections. French, Belgian, and Dutch authorities brought to Albanian authorities 1 million pages of transcripted conversation and messages between organized crime with crypted telephones. But what it was found was that the communication went up to Edi Rama and his ministers. It was found that half of this communication were for elections, violating elections. Now we are in election campaign. The Prime Minister is distributing, respect no law, is giving to every pensioner 100 euros as a gift for votes for Prime Minister to 760,000 people. He issued a decision, government decision, to provide 138 licenses for cannabis plantation, cannabis for votes. He's using 100 millions of euro in order to buy votes. He had encouraged all mafia clans to threaten people in order to vote for him. But the situation is very, very, very desperate. My nation is fleeing since 2014 until 2023, according to Eurostat. 1,099,000 Albanians left Albania for Schengen area, only for Schengen area. The economy, for 3 years long, the industrial production is falling down. The exports, because of euro is devaluated 35%, and the exports has fell from 1 year to another 32%, thousand Albanians losing their job and fleeing from the country. The problem is that Europe never have seen a narco dictatorship, knows all other kinds of dictatorship, this one not, has difficulty to perceive what is going on. That's why I am here, to present the case and to assure you that in a dictatorship, people have no other choice than fighting, and we will fight and fight and fight. And I am deeply convinced that we will prevail. They have no future. Whatever help you could provide, we will be most grateful. A narco state is not dangerous only for its own people. Is dangerous for neighbors. Is a danger for whole continent. Thank you very much for your attention.
Mr. Chairman, just add 1 minute. Yeah. Being part of ACR, so I think I deserve a little bit of time. I would tell you this, that in my belief when I joined ACR, is that we are people that are good enough to decide what they can do with their lives. And I think the most important values are freedom and liberty. Freedom to choose and freedom to speak. We're just close to the elections in Albania, and that's a very important moment. Because of the OSCE ODIHR reports, you'll read that we have a big problem with corruption, organized crime involved in the election, in buying votes and intimidating the voters. Also, IDU, where the ECR is part and EVP is part, approved a resolution in Washington raising the question about the state of play in Albania, especially in respect of the constitutional laws. And the Constitution is not just for the government, but it's for the people to defend the rights of the people. As well, use of justice as a political weapon from different, actors and involvement to prosecute the opposition. All these years, since 2013 till now, the government did everything they could to destroy the opposition. And it's not a playbook just for Albania. There's a playbook around the region and also a playbook in Russia and other places, how they deal with the opposition. We're not here to ask for the support of our parties, but being here in ACR, why not? To have a strong voice of ACR to see the reality as it is. And I believe the fact-checking, fact-finding mission from you people about what's going on in Albania will be the most important. So don't buy what we are saying. Just check it in your own about the situation in the country. We are a NATO country, and what we want is to fulfill our obligation as NATO country to have free and fair election and fight against organized crime and corruption, respect of Constitution and the rule of law.
Thank you very much to both of you. And now I would like to open the floor. From Poland.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is an honor to hear that. It is also deeply concerning what's happening. My question is, how can we help? What do you believe we should be doing in order to restore the rule of law and to fight this organized crime that seems to be taking over the entire country? What would you have us do in order to help Albania?
One, two, three. Okay, I close the contributions. I would like to ask you, in the context of the American question, about the role of a famous Hungarian in America, called George Soros. Could you imply into your answer that element as well? Then we would like to return to you the floor. President, you have the floor.
Thank you very much for your questions. First, I regret very much to tell the audience that at least U.S. Ambassador helped very much Edi Rama in installing the narco state. 2015, when all over the country was covered with cannabis, he went and praised police, telling that I praise you for extraordinary job against cannabis, against drugs. I went and met him. I told him, sir, this is supporting. What is this drama happening? He told me, we do not mind about soft drugs. But I told him, look, these soft drugs might have terrible consequences for my nation. Are crime. Is crime because everywhere armed people who are guarding plantations. And this is at least full violation. But Edi Rama have been have been most protected, most invested leader by George Soros. And my problem is an old one with the multi-billionaire George Soros. I was very confrontational with him. I asked since many years for him to ban his political activity in Europe. I asked European Parliament to ban because he buys politicians everywhere, etc., etc. He has an extreme left agenda. He sent to the monism, the model, taking all NGOs and putting under former Communist Party umbrella. So my quarreling with him become bigger when he was involved in Balkan policy. He became the principal factor in Balkan foreign policy. He wanted, with this partition of Kosovo, a project of Milosevic brought from him through intermediaries several times while I've been president of the Republic. Now, George Soros sealed and signed the project as being his project. Of course, I opposed. And he was very unhappy. Then, one day Edi Rama told me in Parliament, Sali, could you cross Atlantic? I told him, yes, I could cross. He told, no, you have had a message. I haven't had any message. But he told his people that Sali is sanctioned because of conspiracy against U.S. policy. I never conspired. I was public every time. However, they failed. As long as Secretary Pompeo was in office, they didn't send anything. Once they left the power, President Trump, I was 3 weeks after election, I was sanctioned for corruption and undermining democracy from a man which praised most me than any other man in the world for successes in fighting corruption when he was top advisor to Joe Biden, and this was Anthony Blinken, a very close person to George Soros. I wrote him a letter. I told Secretary, whenever you will find a single piece of evidence of my corruption, I quit forever politics. But you did the decision based on corrupted lobbying of Edi Rama and George Soros. Third, I will sue him in court because you wounded my dignity, and I am protecting my dignity, and I sued him in court. They get mad for that. And they tried to, but they failed. I continued my battle, and it's a long story. I don't like you to use time, but they played a very negative role. This is my response to that. And for Soros, I think I told you, if you ask me what is Albania, Albania is a republic of George Soros. Yes. To illustrate, Mr. President, a mayor of Tirana is arrested for corruption. He gave few weeks ago an instruction to his wife, telling his wife, don't go to U.S. Embassy, that the power has changed there. But wait until Alex will come and things will change. It was for Alex Soros. No one has reacted because after this battle, State Department, Anthony Blinken State Department did everything to isolate, and everything he tried to control every contact with myself, with my party. It's true. So people were not so happy to deal with these matters. Yes, you could help us very much. You could help us first sending fact-finding mission, because you hear there are things incredible, unbelievable. And once you touch the reality there, then you find a way to help my nation, to help my country get rid from this narco-dictatorship. We will fight and fight, but we need also help from free people wherever they are, and from European governments and our friends everywhere. Thank you very much. Yeah, we have these elections. Your observation is very important. Now I talked something, but media are 80%, more than 80% controlled by the government. At the end, identical to Habibullah of Kabul, he blocked the TikTok. And he had installed now deep pocket inspection, some devices to control internet also. This is true. This is true. Once the youth started to criticize him in TikTok, he banned and he blocked 2 weeks ago TikTok. He do everything to limit our communication with people.
President, thank you very much. We are very honored that you have decided to come to Strasburg in the midst of the election campaign. We wish you all the best in the coming period until May. I will draw your attention that the Council of Europe will have election observation mission. And in this delegation, we have got a member of us who is the rapporteur for Albania, Simona Billi. Is going to be a member of this delegation, and he is the rapporteur of the Council of Europe for this. He will head the delegation. Sorry, he will head the delegation. So he will be the leader of the delegation of the Council of Europe. So we will have someone who will make sure the objectivity of this mission and the report. Thank you to your colleagues as well, the Minister and our colleague who is in the Council of Europe. Actually, the President was also a member of the Council of Europe. I do remember when we have served together here in the old days. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very, very grateful for your attention. Thank you.